on my YouTube channel. If you're unable to, for whatever reason, get onto the live Zoom, it is live simulcast over to my YouTube channel. And of course, if you ever miss the live, you can always watch the recordings. On my YouTube channel. They go back for several years. All right. Mercury feels it's for your own good. It is for my own good. Absolutely. Just because it's good for me don't mean it feels good while I'm going through it. I agree. Mercury retrograde, all the retrogrades, um, definitely bring reflection, clarity, almost so many good things to us. You just have to navigate it, right? All right. What was I going to say? Oh, my computer, the clock on the laptop I'm on right now does not have the right time. So I'm a little all over the place as I'm like, do I start now? And I'm going back and forth between my laptop and my phone. My laptop currently says it's only 10:42 a.m., which means I'm 18 minutes early, and I know that's wrong. So got some things we're navigating this morning. Hi, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Valerie Lewis. I'm a psychic medium and also a tarot and oracle card reader. And I have been doing Magical Monday manifestations for a very long time. I was just going over some old events because I was trying to find an old event I had done. And then I was like, let me just go back to the beginning and figure out when was my first event that I ever did. Yeah, it's been this will be my 5th year doing Magical Monday manifestations. I'm so proud of me for sticking with something. Yeah, the Magical Money manifestation has lasted longer than my marriage, just to give you a little bit of putting it in perspective for you. Um, so anyway, what I do here is I allow messages from spirit to come through using the cards, tarot and oracle cards. I feel like today is going to be very oracle heavy just because that's where I feel spirit is the leading me, directing me. So we'll get through the tarot cards rather quickly and then move into the oracle cards. Speaking of Mercury retrograde, there are several retrogrades going on right now. I heard Jupiter is retrograde. It's either Jupiter or Pluto. One of them is retrograding. Chiron is retrograding. And when somebody told me that Chiron is retrograding, I was like, oh, okay, now everything in my life makes sense over these past couple of weeks or so. So we're going to talk about all of that, right? But first, let's get settled in. If you have had, if you, like many Americans, have had a rather rough week, do y'all like my infomercial voice? A rather rough week this past week. Raise your hand, put it in chat. Have things just been maybe not personally for you, but you're just looking out into the world going, what the hell is wrong with people? Have you noticed that? I have noticed that. And I just want somebody else to say they noticed it so I can tell myself I haven't been delusional about shit. All right. Let's see. Yep. Somebody else said it. Oh, well, let's try to turn that let's try to turn this energy around, or at least sometimes it's not about turning the energy around. Sometimes it's about learning how to navigate it. And in us learning how to navigate it, we pick up new skills, new tools, new ways of being. We let go of things that aren't serving us. I do believe that's what all these retrogrades are about. So maybe it's not about shifting energy. Maybe it's about learning how to navigate the energies that are present. We'll see. What does Spirit have to say? I've already pulled the cards. We have 4 cards. Before I get too far into it and before my memory fails me, I do want to mention that I was also invited to an Awkwardly Zen event, which is immediately following this one. Some of you know what Awkwardly Zen is. Jacqueline is going to find the link for me real quick and post it in chat if you don't know what Awkwardly Zen is. And it's psychic development immediately following this event. Some other things in the hopper. If you have not joined my newsletter, please make sure you join my newsletter because I'm back at it, y'all. I've got events almost every week of this month, and I usually don't do that many events, but I'm getting back into the groove of things. There are a lot of events that I want you all to take part in this month. Some are free, some are paid, some are even pay what you want. I'm trying something new. Yes, you can attend my event for the low, low price of 1 penny, but you got to pay something. So some of them are even pay what you want. There's three events. Holy shit. Why did I do that? Three events coming up this week. There's energy clearing with interstellars on Thursday the 7th. There's my 8-8 event, which is my 5th year doing the 8-8 event. Please get signed up for that. 8-8 portal. So much good stuff coming through this portal, and you want to be able to take advantage of that. And then on the weekend, I have my Tarot Basics, which is entirely free if you're interested in learning or getting a refresher on Tarot. Please join that event as well on the weekend. All right, enough about that. Let's get into the cards for this week. Of course, Spirit would give me that card. The Fool. Y'all don't look at my nails, okay? I got issues with my nails too. Um, the Fool is what we start this week out of as the Zero card. The beginning. The beginning of something. Something that's going to ask you, where are you at on your trust? Ooh, not ask you or require you or put an obligation upon you to trust more. Are we sick of that yet? Not trust more, but a reflection. Where are you at on your trust? Can you look at your life and kind of do a checkbox? Yes, I trust that. Nope, not sure on that one. Absolutely don't trust that. Where are you at on your trust? I believe that's what the Fool is asking us to reflect upon. And this is not a figure out if you're doing it right kind of reflection. This is a just where are you? If you don't know where you are, how is Spirit going to give you the GPS coordinates to where you want to go? You have to have a starting point, right? So this Fool, this Zero card, this beginning, this starting point is asking you not to do more work and figure out what you need to correct, but just to sit back and take an honest self-reflection, self-assessment. Where am I at? Where is my starting point? What coordinates on my life journey can I hand over to Spirit so that I can accurately get to where I'm trying to go to? If I don't know where I'm at, how am I going to figure out where I'm trying to go to? So that's the Fool card. Let's see, any keywords that I need to know from the book. New beginnings, potential, adventures, enthusiasm, awakening, innocence, and optimism. Optimism is one of my favorite words. The affirmation, I am ready for this adventure down my soul path. So the Fool card asking you to reassess where you are with your trust specifically, because that's one of the key themes of the Fool card, trust, but also asking you to just reassess where you are on your journey, on your path. All right, so you're like, yeah, I'm looking at it. Man, there's a whole bunch of things that I wish were different. And Spirit says, hold on, stop right there. We're not doing that bullshit this morning. 8 of Swords is the card that says, stop making up stories that are keeping you trapped. Stop saying you're blocked. Stop saying things aren't happening for you when they're happening for everyone else. Stop making your real life resistant on your path bigger than it needs to be. Spirit says, and I'm not expecting you to bypass it and say it's not there. I'm just expecting you to stop being so damn dramatic about it so that I can help you move past it. Or keep telling yourself the stories. Keep on. It's your choice. Which one are we going to choose? Which being do we want to be in this reflection? Do we want to be the being that is held back by her own internal stories? Or do we want to be the being that says, I can see my stories, I can see what I'm doing, and I'm ready to start unraveling and freeing myself? Which one, which path are we going to take? Two choices there, 8 of Swords. If we take the path where we decide to look at what is holding us back and examine the stories that we've been telling ourselves, and maybe free ourselves from the ones that we're ready to free ourselves from. Not all of the stories are the stories that we're ready to free ourselves from. That's why we're humans. That's why we have imagination and creativity. But some of them you're ready to free yourself from. And when you do that, you step into this energy of the King of Wands, divine masculine mastery, the energy of fire. And you're saying, I see what's there, and I'm choosing to stand in my power so that I can move beyond it. I'm willing to release something. What is that something for you this week? What are you willing to let go of so that you can move from this energy into this energy? The King of Wands. This King of Wands, I believe, is the second time coming up for me in recent history, second or third time. It's coming up quite a bit. So I definitely want to go to the book to see if there's any additional meaning or definitions I might glean. We might all glean from the book definition. A fresh perspective is what I'm going for. When I go to the book, it's because I want a fresh perspective, maybe a reminding of remembrance of a key element of a card that maybe I've forgotten. So this fiery guy, he's a charismatic and natural born leader whose vitality emanates through his laughter and his obsession with a life well lived. As you dance into this energy, you may feel a surge of entrepreneurial passion that pushes you to the edges of your epic success. The card of moguls, masterpieces, and soul inspiration, the King of Wands calls you to unleash that offbeat weirdo that you've got inside and be absolutely unapologetic in your pursuit of the stellar. Ground your vision through the wildly novel expression of big ideas. And if you find yourself getting tripped up by the minutiae of the everyday, recruit help and map out the bigger picture. Holler passionately. Invite others to see what you see. Now, the shadow side of this energy is that you may not perceive your own blind spots because of an overzealous ambition. Keep arrogance and unrealistic expectations at bay and work out the kinks before charging ahead with your intensely vibrant heart. The affirmation is passionate and heart-filled. We build this empire of light together. I'm going to go back to the part of the shadow side. Keep arrogance and unrealistic expectations at bay. Yes and no. Here's the message that I've been getting from Spirit about arrogance and unrealistic expectations. Arrogance is not what you think it is. I'm saying that to everyone here in the room because you're all drawn here for one reason or another, and I feel this message relates to everyone at this point. Arrogance is not what you think it is, and realistic expectations are holding you back. I don't think I'm speaking to anyone here in this room who is actually and truly delusional. If I was, my message would be different. My message would be more in lines with the keep it realistic. But here's what I've been feeling collectively for the groups that I'm in and for spirituality and humans as a whole, is we get these ideas and instead of, before we even act on them, before we even put pen to paper, we say to ourselves, that's unrealistic, and we shelf it. Spirit right now is calling us to re-examine what we are classifying as realistic and unrealistic. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, is this unrealistic? Because me, my higher self, my guide, spirit, source itself have all weighed in on this and say it's unrealistic at this point in my journey, not forever, at this point in my journey? Or is this unrealistic because I'm listening to what others before me has deemed as unrealistic? Because I'm scared, because I don't know how to make it come about, and so I just put it in the bucket of unrealistic. It's time to redefine what you are considering unrealistic and also redefine arrogance. Is this arrogance, or is this my own fear of speaking my truth? And so I label it arrogance so I don't ever have to speak my truth. Is this thing that I'm wanting to do arrogance, or is it someone else trying to quiet me or turn down my volume because they aren't ready to handle what it is I have to say? A lot of what we call arrogance is not arrogance, and that's from spirit, not from me. So re-examine those. As you work on integrating and stepping into this King of Wands, he is not arrogant, but he is full on somebody you don't want to fuck with. There's a difference between standing your ground and standing in power and being arrogant. And many of us, because of the societies we live in and the things that we have been taught, have those wires crossed and have some confusion in what is arrogance and what is standing in power. So just spend some time during all of these retrogrades to reflect and ask yourself, are there areas in my life where perhaps I haven't stepped forward because I've told myself that stepping forward is arrogance? Can I reframe that and instead step forward in full authority and instead consider that me stepping into my power or me claiming my power? All right. This deck is Light Seers Tarot, the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Someone asked that question, and I didn't go into that in the beginning. All right, and then our last card for the tarot is the Eight of Pentacles. So we have the Fool, the Eight of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. Pentacles, earth energy, what is in our physically manifested world that we can interact with and experience. We have an eight. Yay, in the week of 8-8, we have an eight. Eight is abundance, eight is openings, eight is opportunities. Eight of Pentacles, mastering a skill, an expert, craftsmanship, the Marakai that you put into your work, which is the soul part of you that goes into everything that you create. Methodical process, patience, and determination, and soul purpose. I feel like these go hand in hand because Spirit is first saying, step in to that power, step into that, whoop, not upside down, step into your power. And once you are there, this. And once you are there, continue refining your skill, continue sharing with the world the light that you came here to share with the world, and do so from a place of power. Because a lot of us keep stepping into this, wanting to share our skills, wanting to refine our skills, but we're stepping into it from a place of disempowerment, a place of, I hope they like what I share. I hope what I create is good enough. Oh, that one's not quite perfect yet, so I'm not going to share it until it's ready. And we can absolutely manifest. Shit, most of us do manifest from that set point, myself included. But what if we went into this space of creation, of skill building, of sharing from a place of pure empowerment, standing in our power, not disempowerment? The world would do a backflip. The world would be aghast at the things that we unleash when we are standing in our full power. And so many people would benefit from it. So many people would benefit from it. Let's see. What does the book have to say about this card? With loving determination, this is the affirmation. With loving determination, I preserve and I become the person I long to be, which is you. You long to be a person who is able to stand in their power, whatever that looks like for you, regardless of what it looks like for someone else. We all long to be a person that stands as who they truly are in their power. With loving determination, I persevere, not preserve. With loving determination, I persevere and I become the person I long to be. So that's our tarot cards for this week. Lots of good information on how we might move forward, putting that into practical terms, taking an awareness of where we are for sure with this interesting energy we're all experiencing. Let's see. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, I don't even know if it's in this book. Oh, it is. It is. Good, good, good. The next thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to an Oracle deck because sometimes I pick Oracle decks to help me learn something. And I do want to talk about Chiron, Chiron, the wounded healer, being in retrograde, just to give you, whether or not you believe in astrology, it's still out there collectively for many of us. And if we got people walking around believing that this is really happening, then collectively we're all experiencing it, right? Right. That's what I believe. So, Chiron, the wounded healer, and I absolutely do believe in astrology. But I'm saying this in a way of either you are personally experiencing this or you're aware of other people who are experiencing this. Either way, we're all in this shit together. Chiron is often referred to as the wounded healer archetype, named after a mythological wise centaur who trained heroes and then was accidentally wounded by Hercules with a poisoned arrow. Though he could not completely heal his own pain, he learned so much about medicine that he started a healing temple. This asteroid, Chiron is an asteroid, points to where our own painful experiences give you training and how you can use that understanding to help others. So let's see. Find purpose in your problems. Here's the lesson. Hard-earned wisdom is now relevant and needed. So I want to talk about this asteroid being in retrograde. Find purpose in your problems is if it's just a lovely day outside and you're like, let me figure out where Chiron is and what Chiron is trying to teach me about my chart. Oh, Chiron is in my house of relationships. No wonder I get wounded by relationships and have to heal myself and figure out how to help other people in their relationships. It's that kind of thing on a normal day. During retrograde, it's I thought I healed that. Why is this coming up again? Why do I have to go through this pattern again? Why am I revisiting this wound? I thought I was over this. That's what it feels like in retrograde. Finding purpose in your problems. It's looking at those problems that you think you resolved, and here they are again. And now you're being asked to, okay, what's the purpose of this? Maybe you're not being asked to solve the problem this time around. Maybe you're just being asked to experience the problem and learn from it. Hard-earned wisdom is now relevant and needed. You don't have to assign causality. You may never know why you went through a difficult time, but you can put what you learned from it to good use. Even if you never quite heal in this place of karmic tenderness, you have the wisdom to pass on once you metabolize the information. This situation may feel familiar, but if you can't remember a story to go with it, it may be left over from a past life, a chapter review of what your soul already knows. If an old pain is triggered, have compassion for yourself. You are more than your troubles. Anybody taking notes? Because if anybody's taking notes, write that one down. You are more than your troubles. You know the route through, and now it's time to practice what you know. Once you have a solution, add it to your toolkit. If this situation stretches and tests you, take it as training for the hero within. What you are learning now can be your secret sauce in the future. The challenge is the situation can set off touchy memories or poke you where it still hurts. Shrapnel can hurt as much coming out as it does going in. Take this opportunity to heal so those old places can transform. And then the gift is allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and compassion of the present moment. Now, if that doesn't put my last week in review in cute little, I mean, that card all by itself, Chiron energy all by itself is Valerie's week in review. Y'all, we've been dealing with some big themes. I say we because I hope some of y'all out there are in this with me, dealing with some big themes and just finding a new way to navigate it. That's what I'm finding for myself. Finding a new way because I'm a new me. And even though it feels like the same problem, it's from an entirely different vantage point. So I hope you all are also experiencing that and giving yourself a lot of compassion if you are revisiting some old things that you thought you were past, some old themes, some old problems that you thought you had resolved, and here they are again. I hope you are saying things to yourself like, this is not the same thing. I did not create this. I'm a new person, and this is coming up so I can apply my new tools to this new situation, or so that I can gain even deeper understanding or even more clarity to move forward and navigate my path. not because I'm being punished, not because I didn't work through it the first time, but because now I get a chance to work through it with even better tools, with even more of who I truly am. So hopefully you speak positivity over those things that would otherwise bring up negative storylines. Let's go back to the Eight of Swords. Negative storylines. Can we rewrite those stories and tell ourselves a more positive story about what and why we might be experiencing what we're experiencing? That deck, I'm not being real good about telling you what decks I'm pulling from today. That deck is Star Code Astro, and the card was simply Chiron. I specifically drew the Chiron card for educational purposes. All right. There's a lot going over in chat, Jacqueline. I trust that you're going to wave or flag me down if I need to stop and fit. All right. All right. And I love it when there's an active chat. I do hope you all are getting what you need and letting me know over there when messages resonate. All right. It is not, is it? I'm trying to keep track of time. It is. My clock caught up. It is 11:29. Yay, half an hour in. All right, let's go. The next deck I want to read from is Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild, because this, I don't know, there's something soothing about this card. The Sacred Rebels card for me is all about divine disruption. It's all about we didn't come here to walk the same path. We came here to find new paths. And so when we find ourselves in chaos and turmoil, a lot of times I like going to this deck because it's like, here's how you navigate this. There's nothing that's wrong with this. This is what happens when we try to create a new world. This is what happens when we shift into a new paradigm. This is what happens when we say, this reality is no longer suiting for me. I think I want to create my own reality on my own terms. Sacred Rebels, we hit that chaos because chaos is how creation happens. And so knowing how to navigate the chaos and knowing how to not fight against it and to allow it to be part of the process has been very helpful for me on my path. So we're going to card number 33. I love that it's an angel number and the message is heaven sent. 33, heaven sent. Oh, the one right before it, 32, is faith in the process. We're not going to read that one. We're going to go heaven sent. And this is quite a lengthy definition. We'll see if I need to read the whole thing or if I can paraphrase for you, but I do usually read the first paragraph. Heaven sent. Just as we receive gifts in the physical world through the thoughtfulness of others to acknowledge how much we mean to them, so too we receive gifts on other levels, including the spiritual level. A spiritual gift is something that happens through grace. We can ask for help and it may be given in response to that request. All requests for help are answered. A spiritual gift can also be given without us asking for anything at all, at least not consciously. Sometimes it is our hearts that cry out for help. While we are busy getting on with our to-do list, we don't often stop to think about what our hearts might need. If we do, and an immediate solution is not obvious, we just get on with life, either letting the issue be or taking the more painful option of dwelling on it without seeing how it might be resolved. Whew, anybody done that lately, recently, ever? Just dwelling on an issue, going over it again and again and again with no resolution, with no clear path out. However, there is a loving benevolence in life that knows exactly what we need and how it can best come to us, even when we are not quite so clear. This force actively seeks to assist us in walking our life path. That loving sweetness is being offered to you now, or soon will be, in the form of a spiritual gift. And I feel like this kind of ties into that Eight of Pentacles card we've received. We talked about too, because it was talking about refining your toolkit and finding more gifts and how are you going to approach life, that Eight of Pentacles card. All right, let's see. Do we need to read the whole text? Let's go. Your spiritual gift may be symbolic. It may be something that seems ordinary but holds a lot of meaning to you. It might be an object that catches your eye and mesmerizes you. You might think you are appreciating how lovely it looks, but it's the underlying energy that captures you. Something in the appearance, color, or shape speaks to you, and it's perhaps answering an unspoken prayer. It is not the object that is the gift, that is just the wrapping. The actual gift is subtle, yet effective empowerment. It's like a spiritual booster shot that helps you move forward in life with additional zing, extra strength, and greater peace. You will be empowered to accomplish tasks that you may nearly but that you may have nearly but not quite been able to manage on your own through the through the bestowal of this spiritual gift. Good Lord, that was hard for my tongue. I promise English is my first language. The spiritual gift may or may not be recognizable to you. It may be very obvious, an offer, a windfall, a trip, a friendship, a new lover, or a remarkable healing in a current relationship. It might be far more subtle and even more powerful, such as a jolt of energy that allows you to perceive things differently all of a sudden and perhaps solve a problem that has been plaguing you. It will be bestowed as and when it is needed in the form that will best serve the love in you. Ooh, I love that. Okay, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. This oracle comes with the message that you are to trust in the things that you feel and say to others without knowing why. It moves them. Does that feel like the Fool card coming through again with the message about trust? What do you trust in? What do you believe in? Can you trust in the messages and the truth that comes from your own mouth? Or do you hide it, make it more palatable to others? Maybe speak a little bit of truth and a lot of platitude, or do you just speak full on truth? Because it says it moves them. You might not understand, but through trust, you are allowing yourself not to overthink and censor yourself. As such, you are able to become a vessel through which the spiritual gifts can be passed on to others. Don't block yourself, period. Let life happen through you, period. Only benefit can come from this. I love that. Here's a healing process, which is a phrase. Again, I'm skipping ahead to the process or to a phrase you can say to yourself. I like saying these phrases with my hand over my heart, but you do you. Through unconditional love, I now accept the spiritual gifts that are bestowed upon me with complete trust and gratitude. So be it. Just a simple statement to your higher self, universe, spirit, God, whatever it is that you believe in. Just a simple statement that says, I'm open and ready to receive these gifts, and I know they're going to benefit me, and I'm going to offer gratitude before I even get it. I like the feeling of that. All right. Spirit, what else do we need to know? Somebody said there's a new moon. Nope, a full moon this weekend. Can somebody tell me what sign that full moon is in? If you know, that would be great. The next deck we're going to go to, what deck are we going to go to next? The universe has your back. This deck has no guidebook. It's just a series of really great affirmations. Let's see what messages come through from this deck. Affirmation that we are supported. I got 3 cards from this deck. I am the loving energy of the universe. I am the loving energy of the universe. Can you say that to yourself and believe it? I surrender to a power greater than me. Ooh, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I surrender to a power greater than me. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Anybody out there saying you're stuck and you're not sure how to move forward, spend some time getting back in touch with love. in any form. Maybe you love on your pet. Maybe you love yourself. Maybe you do a craft you love or a food that you like. You go and eat that because you love it and you sit in that energy of love. And the more you can sit in that energy of love, maybe the heavens don't part over your spaghetti macaroni dinner that you love so much. But the more you can sit in that energy of love with things you love, surrounding yourself with the energy you love, I promise you the path will become clearer. You'll get little breadcrumbs or you'll get a full-blown download that gives you the clarity that you're seeking. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. All right. So, what I wanted to come back to is this part. I surrender to a power greater than me. Many of you take that and you run with it and you know what that means to you, and that's great. I'm gonna have to dig a little bit deeper on this for myself and maybe for some of y'all in the audience. The part of surrender to a power greater than me, the idea that there is something separate from and greater than me that I must surrender to, I have issue with. I don't like the separateness. That's just me, and that's where I am on my own personal path. So when I read this card, I surrender to a power greater than me. I instantly read separation. What is greater than me? I am. I am the loving energy of the universe. I am all that is, or at least a piece of it. I am a fractal of spirit, of source energy. So I am not surrendering to something separate than myself. I am surrendering to the part of me that is more wise, more in tune, more aligned, more love, more peaceful, more of me. I surrender to the part that is resistant. I'm surrendering that to the part of me that is non-resistant. That's how I make it make sense in my mind, because then we're one and the same. Then it's a cycle of us working together and not a separation where I'm begging something greater than me to bless my life. I'm kind of past that. I'm kind of like, hey, if I'm part of source energy, if I am a spark of God, then we're in this together. I'm not going to beg you. We're going to work together. We're going to co-create. We're going to, I'm going to surrender to the part of me that's bigger than me, but not to something outside of me. So that's just how I word it in my world, where I'm at on my journey. Maybe that helps some of you. So that's the universe has your back. And where do we want to go next? Somebody said, I saw it. Now I have to go back. Aquarius. The full moon is, of course, the full moon is going to be in Aquarius because along with all the other things we're working on, Aquarius, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck just to give us a heads up of what energies might be swirling around this weekend. Full moon in Aquarius. Ah, this makes so much sense. This makes so much sense. Full moon in Aquarius, and the key phrase is be real. Sometimes we pursue someone or something for all the wrong reasons. Our ego gets involved, and before we know it, we're driving ourselves crazy by chasing something that may not even be right for us. Now, it started talking about someone or something. This can be anything. This can be pursuit of a version of success that no longer serves us, pursuit of a career path that no longer serves us. It could be an actual physical person or a relationship. Pursuit of a mansion that we really, really said we want, but we really don't want that because who's going to clean 27 bedrooms and 15 toilets? We don't really want that. Maybe we want something else that has been tweaked in our vibration through lived experience, but we're still chasing something old. We haven't reevaluated our wants, dreams, hopes, wishes, and aspirations. We haven't sat down and reevaluated them. So we just keep going after that carrot without ever stopping to ask ourselves, do I even want a carrot for dinner even anymore? So it's time to reevaluate that as well. This card reminds you that sometimes you need to back off a little, worry less, and trust more. There's that trust word again. Life is about fun and laughter, but you'll take all the fun out of it if you spend too long in your head rather than in your heart. Too long in your head rather than in your heart. There's that same repeating message, just from a different angle. You might win, but it might not be a great victory. And so the last word is release. And that's a full and complete sentence. Release, period. The manifesting balance. Find a balance between being real and trying to please all of the people all of the time. Who's doing that? Who's a recovering people pleaser? Find a balance between being real and trying to please all the people all of the time. Manifesting mindset. Life goes in cycles, and that's okay. The more you can accept that, the easier this phrase will be for you. All right. Manifesting ritual, and I'm just going to read the key points, this different things that you might involve in your ritual work or put on your altar if you're wanting to call this energy of being real and not people pleasing in for you. Frankincense essential oil. The goddess Isis, who works to support us in awakening to the truth. And you might just want to invoke that energy or invoke that goddess and ask her to show you your truth. Notice I said your truth, because your truth is your truth. It's not universal, it's yours. And you get to live and walk and speak that truth. The truth empowers me and sets me free is your manifestation affirmation. All right, so that is full moon in Aquarius. We are being called once again, even by the moon herself, to step into who we truly are and to do so unafraid. To really, you know what, this is a personal part of my journey where I'm at right now. The personal part of my journey is being able to speak my own personal truth with conviction, regardless of what other people's truths might be. That's quite the lesson. I'm almost there, y'all, but I'm still working on it. I feel like it's a life lesson. I feel like I'm always going to be working on it. As more truths come up, then I work on expressing them in a way that feels confident for me. So if you're working on that too, very, very timely message. Very, very timely message. All right. I want to spend some time doing some one-card pulls for those in the audience. I do believe we have a little bit of time for that. So I'm going to go back to my tarot deck. And this is about being real, finding the authentic version of ourselves. That Eight of Swords, releasing any stories that might be keeping us from our own truth. The Fool card, trusting in ourselves, trusting in our truth, trusting in our messages. Trusting that the universe will support us because we did not come here to live by others' truths. We, as light workers, came here to define our own path. And in defining it, we often get lost. We often look to others for guidance. And all the while, we're supposed to be drawing our own maps. So how do we get back to that realness? How do we get back to trusting ourselves and trusting that we can navigate and that we can lay new paths and that we can find new ways? All right, who wants a reading? Put it over in chat. I will try to keep up. Charlie. Charlie is the Hermit card. 9, this is a 9 year. This is a Hermit year. So this is all about, ooh, this one feels good when I felt into what this means for you, Charlie. When I just said that whole spiel about being yourself, this is, it's loner energy, but it's also finding comfort in that loner energy and not quite loner energy. It's like someone who has literally walked their own path, found the light because that's the only way they knew how to do it, because there was too much interference from the world around them. And once they found that light, they didn't hoard it. They didn't keep it to themselves. They said, hey, I just need to walk this path so I can find my own way. But as soon as I find it, I promise I'm going to share it. I promise. And so this person has found it and they're sitting up there shining that light for everyone else who might need a little bit of help, a little bit of course correction, a little bit of, I don't know what I'm doing. And here is the hermit saying, this is what worked for me. I love this card for you, Charlie. I love it. Okay, so that's the hermit. Moving on, we have Amanda. Amanda has the Four of Cups card. And the Four of Cups is that card of boredom. I call it the meh card. This makes perfect sense for where we are in this reevaluating, reassessing, becoming more self-aware. We're looking at all that has been, and we're just kind of like, I'm ready for something new. Cups is your emotional center. It's also your intuition. And for you, this does not feel like a bad spot. This does not feel like a spot you have to, oh my God, I have to move out of that. I don't want to be bored. I don't want to have meh energy. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels like this is where you are. And as soon as you're ready to shift out of it, what you have been asking for is right there, being handed to you, delivered to you. It's right there. So this is just a period of, it almost feels good. It feels like I am at a position now where I'm not down in the trenches. I'm up in a lookout and I'm looking over the terrain of my life and I'm deciding the things that are no longer satisfying. And as soon as I am ready to accurately look and survey where I'm at, then I can get rid of those things that aren't serving me and that aren't satisfying me. But if I just keep rushing ahead, I'm just going to keep carrying a bunch of shit that's not serving me, a bunch of shit that's boring to me. I'm just going to keep carrying it forward because I'm not giving myself time enough to sit and evaluate from a higher perspective. So this feels like a good place for you. This feels like I need to sit and I need to figure out what's boring and I need to figure out what I don't like and I need to figure out what doesn't light me up anymore. And as soon as I figure out which bowls are empty, I can cast them out and turn towards this bowl that is ready and waiting for me. So that's for Amanda, Four of Cups. Ren, Seven of Pentacles. Ren, Seven of Pentacles, the card that comes right before the Eight of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is the idea of someone sitting down and resting. Again, we got all these resting and reflecting cards. Sitting down and resting, reflecting on the work they've done, the seeds they've sown, how they've tended to their garden. And look, something new is growing. I'm going to keep sending my energy. See that flow of energy? I'm going to keep sending my energy toward this thing I really want. But I'm also going to hold it gently and not force it to grow faster than it's ready to grow. I'm going to understand that there is a lot of help from spirit, the divine, my spirit guides, interstellars, whatever, all of these things, friends, community, a lot of things going on beneath the surface that are contributing to the growth of this thing that I want. And I have to give that time. I don't have to, but I'm choosing to not fight against the timing of it. And I'm choosing to just allow it to develop in its own pace, in its own time. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep sending gratitude, focus, energy, and I'm going to trust, there's that word again, that everything is on track and that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Seven of Pentacles. All right. Where are we at? We still got a couple of minutes here. That's interesting. How did I turn these cards? Next up, I'm going to go to Lisa. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I did with these cards. I got them all kind of crazy ways. Lisa has the Knight of Swords. Lisa, this message comes up when someone, well, I'm reading it in reversal. The energy I got off of it was in reversal. I don't feel like you're currently rushing towards putting something into action. So that would be reversal energy. I feel like the message for you is swords is our thinking mind. It's also communication. Oh, two messages for you as I'm feeling into this. First message, thinking mind is there are thoughts that you have not taken action on yet, and this night is asking you to put those into action. How can you take the least amount of effort, the first step towards those things that you have been asking for? Get them out of your mind and into physical manifestation by taking some kind of action step towards the thoughts you have been thinking. Second thing, first message, action in the real world towards things that you've been thinking, things that you've been begging to be manifested, but you haven't quite put into action yet. First message. Second message, the other way I'm reading this card is still in reversal. It's saying, don't rush forward into conversations at this time. Swords is our thoughts, but it's also communication. And right now, I feel like whatever's on the hamster wheel up in your brain and your thoughts needs to find expression first just by you. And once you've let that out and you feel kind of the flow, okay, I don't feel so tense. I don't feel anxious anymore. I feel like this energy is moving through me. Then you can reassess what conversations you need to have. But right now, there seems to be like this pent up energy, this lack of expression. And now is not the good time to have that conversation with your neighbor about their lawn. It's just not going to go well. So it's a pause on the conversation, but a move forward and get that energy flowing on the thoughts and the ideas that have kind of felt like they've been repressed, or I don't have time, or I'm not sure, so I'm not going to do it right now. Spirit is like, yeah, do it, because right now, what's happening for you is you are blocking the energy flow. We need to get that energy flow going. So that's the message I have for you. I have completely messed up. Y'all, let me show you what I did to my deck so y'all can see. How does she do it? I don't know, but I got cards going up front and backwards and what? All right. Okay, I believe that was Lisa. I want to go with Cooper. We'll wrap it up with Cooper, and then we'll do a brief energy activation, which is just a way for us to tap into the energies that Spirit would like to see us supported by this week. Who did I just say I was reading for? Cooper. Let me see if I can quickly get my cards back into working order. All right, what does Cooper need to know about this week? What messages will best benefit Cooper? And, oh, it's that one. What card are you? Three of Cups. The sisterhood card, the coming together card, cups, emotion, intuition. This card, threes are also about community in the tarot. And this card is about being in community to find your support. Maybe you need a girls' weekend. Maybe you need to call that friend up and just have a chat or event. Or maybe you need to feel alive again. Maybe you need to go out and party with some friends. Something, something within your energy, your heart center, I feel like it's in your heart center, is craving community. Community can show up in so many different ways. It can be virtual, it can be in person. So you figure out which flavor of community you need. But I do feel like this is a call from your heart saying there's something in community that can benefit us. Maybe it's just a moment for you to get out of your own head. Maybe it's a moment to hear someone else's perspective on something that you just can't get clear on. Maybe it's just a moment to have fun and to remind yourself, I am part of something bigger. Whatever that is for you, I do feel like it's going to be beneficial for you to find a way to put yourself in community and just see what gifts or what knowledge or what experiences can come through you through that channel of community. So There's the messages for this week. Let's take a quick moment to do a very brief, it's going to be about a minute, of energy activation. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Take a deep inhale and a very slow exhale. I want you to sit for just a moment. Feel yourself connecting to that energy that's bigger than yourself. Maybe you're just connecting to your higher self, a bigger aspect of yourself, God, source. Feel that connection for just a moment. And then ask that energy, your higher self, whatever that energy is, how can I be more unapologetically myself this week? And listen for the answer. Perhaps that answer comes as a thought, as a feeling, as an emotion, as a vision, or maybe just a knowing. How can I be more unapologetically myself this week? Take a deep breath in, be ready to receive that information. If you got it here quickly, that's fine. If not, and you need to sit with that question a little bit longer, please take the time to do that. Receive that message. It is waiting. It's ready for you. And then do your best to act upon the information that comes through for you. All right. Thank you all so much for such a wonderful gathering and for allowing me to relay messages from Spirit to this group. I hope you take these messages and use them to manifest magical money manifestations, to manifest your reality on your terms and fuck the rest of the world. All right. Love you all. See you next week.